Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Arel and I hope you are doing well. Today I want to talk to you about a post-trip review of my journaling plan. A few months ago I went on a trip to the UK, particularly in London and Scotland. I did post a video of what journaling supplies I was going to bring with me because I wanted to do a journaling routine while I was traveling in the UK. So I had very high expectations and high hopes for myself to be able to actually do that. But today I will talk about, what really happened, some reflections when it comes to journaling on the go while traveling, and all of that. I have this journal. This is pretty much our trip completed. I have videos of that talking about this specifically. I have just a flip through. I will link it in the cards right now. It's literally just me flipping through this and what's inside. And then I have another video that talks about just more detailed stuff on my journaling process in this journal particularly. But today I wanted to do some post reflections basically on what I learned from the process of trying to journal abroad and also journaling here back home while not traveling. So I wanted to talk about first what worked out. I brought several things that I was going to be using as a journal while I was on our trip. And one of those things is this cloth and paper mini everyday carry notebook. It's graph paper, and this was pretty much what housed everything that happened in this book. So this was pretty much like my log of every day of what happened, and this is the only thing that I filled out during the trip, with the exception for the first page of this journal, which I did explain in the other videos. But yeah, so I brought this with the intention of logging everything, and that's what pretty much happened, is that I wrote down everything that we did, places that we went to, and this was pretty much kind of my guide on filling out this journal post-trip. And I like this idea of having this small notebook to just log, because I think me as a traveler, I'm learning now that I honestly do not have time to make spreads like this, how I ended up creating these later on when the trip is done. Because as much as I did use more supplies that I didn't bring with me later on, like the letter stickers and different types of washi and all of that, I think it's more of the mental capacity to come up with these spreads while you're on a trip. That is just way too much for me, and I think learning now that's just not who I am, because this is the only spread that I did while we were on vacation. This is it. And not gonna lie, it's not one of my favorite spreads. It's just this pocket, photos, and yeah, like it hasn't been really appealing to me to look at as much versus something like this, which I made obviously later on when we got home. So there's that. This part I do like. So I think moving forward, I will be just doing something like this, bringing a mini notebook with me or even my planner, and then just writing everything on what happened during the day and kind of go from there. So that's like one thing that worked. Another thing that worked out really well is the covers that I brought. So this cover was made after the fact. So I purchased patches, purchased this black cover, but during the trip I brought two covers with me. The road trip one, I don't have it with me in person right now, and this airline one. So this was really cute because I enjoyed it for the photos, because I took pictures of the cover of the journal while we were in different places, and that was really nice because it's something that I wanted to remember it by. And then I think it just makes obviously the trip more special because I'm taking my journal with me. Here are just some photos that I took while on the trip. And it honestly was really fun just looking back and seeing those covers in different places. So I do enjoy bringing a cover, and I think I will bring an insert, but I wouldn't actually journal on it while I'm on the trip. So it's just for photos in general. So I like that. Worked out really well for me. And then next is my ephemera holders. So I brought with me these two things. I have this envelope right here, clear one. It just has random stuff right now, but it really held a lot of stuff for me during the trip. I have some photos here to kind of just show you guys. And then this one, especially when it comes to separating everything by the date. I wish I took a video of what it looked like when it has everything. I just have photos right now. But this was absolutely great. But the biggest thing with this also, it got so bulky that I really thought the pages were gonna rip out. So I like that I had this also. And together they were pretty good at holding all of my ephemera during the trip. But I still also needed a lot of space, which I'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, I love how this worked out. I will definitely be bringing this with me everywhere I go for a trip, because it was really good. It was absolutely fantastic holding everything together for me. And I like that I was able to separate them date per date, because when I was making my spreads, I just took everything off from that date and then used them for that particular spread in my journal. So love that. So now I want to talk about things that did not work out. So obviously the supplies. So I brought stickers, I brought my washi tapes, I brought scissors and all of that, and I just didn't need them. I ended up like not using them at all. So it was honestly for me a waste of space. I could have brought more stuff that I needed more, honestly, like for the trip. So that's one thing. I think moving forward I would just maybe bring like some scissors or something, but everything else, like stickers and all of that, because I will be going with the intention of not journaling at all while I'm on my trip. I am just logging things up. There's that. And then just, yeah, so I only got to do this spread, as I was saying earlier, and then this was because we were on the train. And even then, we had a 4-hour train ride. I was also just so tired that I used every bit of downtime that we have to just rest and sleep. And I sleep a lot, so that was a given. But particularly on that trip, I was having very bad jet lag, and I just felt really awful that journaling wasn't really the top priority. I got to do this one page and I had a reel about it. I'll show you a video right now of me journaling while the train was passing through the ocean and all that stuff. Like, that was really cool, but in retrospect, like it wasn't really as aesthetic as I thought it was going to be. So tried it once, it was okay, and I really put thoughts into these. So I really need more time than to just like sit down. And obviously, you know, I'm on a trip like with another person, and I don't want to like ignore my partner and just focus on journaling. And also I want to see the sights and all of that. So instead of me looking down and doing this, I definitely want to be present and just enjoy like the scenery while I can. And then I want to talk about like what I'll do differently. So I briefly said that just bringing the covers for photos, still bringing the ephemera holders and stuff. And then another thing that I want to bring with me is this big envelope. So I got this from Amazon. It comes in a pack of 5, I think, and it's a letter size. It can hold more stuff, and I had things that I collected throughout the trip that were big. It was a bigger guidebook or map that I didn't want to get folded and all of that stuff. So this would have been really, really useful for me. And yeah, moving forward, I'll definitely bring one of these. And it's super light, and I like that it's a Velcro closure. And yeah, this is really cheap. It's on Amazon. I will link it down below if you are interested. But yeah, that is something that I will definitely bring with me along with these two already for a big trip. For like a little trip, I think I could probably get away with just maybe this one or just this envelope itself and not bring this guy, because if I'm going on a trip for like 3 days, I don't need these sections right here to kind of separate them. That is my plan. And then obviously, yeah, like not bring supplies. I will probably just bring like a little notebook for logging, some sticky notes maybe. So that was my kind of reflection as far as what I will be doing next for next time. And then lastly, I want to talk about my actual journaling process, and then really like some 5 tips that I can share with you. I talked about some of these in my other videos, but I'll also just kind of talk about him here. And the first one obviously is using ephemera, because most of the stuff here that I decorated with, it's not like stickers or washi. It's honestly just the ephemera itself. Like, they speak for the spread. And I love using different things like receipts and maps, and just, this is a hotel room key holder thingy that I ended up using. And then yeah, this is a map right here. It was pretty fun, like, to just put everything together, and then just cutting up some packaging and then using those as like letters instead of stickers. It honestly made the journal itself a lot more fun to do, because the stuff that I use are the stuff that I collected throughout the trip. So it was really cool to see it all come together. And then next is like using postcards for longer entries. So I have a lot of postcards here, and then they are definitely used for me to write everything down, or long form journaling in the postcards. And instead of me just collecting the postcards and not actually using them, so for this trip I decided to use them because it's just much better that way. And it honestly also adds a lot more personality to your journal to use the stuff that you buy there also, like in your trip. So postcards, long form journaling, very nice. And then next is sticky notes. I use a lot of these two sticky notes. These are grid sticky notes. This is from Muji, May Paper Co. And I just use them for some of the spreads because I don't like writing down on blank paper. I can't write straight, so it bothers me. So here I would just use like some sticky notes so that, you know, I have actual writing area to use. And then another paper that I ended up using is this loose leaf paper. So I just either cut this up or even use this to use it as like my spread. So here I wrote it down and then stuck it on the back of this photo right here. And it was just nice to have like this grid paper that I could use to write some stuff down. So like here, this is this paper. It's absolutely wonderful. Maruman loose leaf. It was intended for a notebook, but I don't really have that size, so I just use it to write on it for journal spreads. And this paper is so buttery soft. It's, oh my god, so good. And it holds onto pens like really well, and it doesn't smear, which is really great. So I love that. And then photo printing. So most of the photos that I have are printed with my Canon selfie. This is a really old model. This was a gift from one of my coworkers years and years ago, but it still works really well. And these are the photos that it prints out. Versus this guy, which is from my Canon IV. So this is the one that I brought with me for the trip, and I only used it obviously from that one spread. And I used some of the spreads too here. I think like this one was from the IV. Obviously these big ones are from the selfie. And honestly, I like the selfie more because the quality of the photos do come out way better because it does use ink, as opposed to this one that's inkless. Yeah, so like this one, this is all selfie, and it captures the real quality of the photos from your phone like really well. I really love that, how it ends up like looking. And obviously like I can't bring that with me like during the trip because it's way too bulky, but I do love using that one more than this. So I think this is only reserved like for my daily journaling, but like for big travel stuff, I do love the selfie. So I love how those photos came out. So there you go. As far as I love both, but I prefer the selfie obviously as you know, for quality, more quality photos versus this one. And then lastly is utilizing the space effectively. I could honestly say I would not have come out with these spreads if I did them while traveling, because I wanted to put everything together and plan where things are going to go first. And I'm not a person who is very like decisive pretty much right away when it comes to putting, oh, this sticker goes here and this sticker goes there. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. And then these like vellum strips that I kind of connected onto the pages, I would not have been able to do that, honestly, if I was doing it during our trip. So I love that I was able to utilize the space effectively, and I was able to do that because I had more time to kind of like think about it. And I am very proud that I finished the entire book just for this whole trip, and it's been really great. So I adore everything that I came up with. It's been really fun putting it all together and just reflecting on some of the things that I wish I did, and also how I'm going to be journaling now about my travels in the future. And yeah, it's like good. It's good to learn. It's good to think about like how you're gonna be doing stuff, and to just find like big ways and little ways to make your memories last in a book. So yeah, if you guys have any questions and how you guys like do the travel journaling, do you travel and journal at the same time, or you do it like after the fact like I did? In the end, if you're gonna make a really nice book that you're gonna be excited on looking back on, that is all that matters. It really doesn't matter if you do it while you're on trip or after, and all of that, as long as something comes out of it. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, please let me know down below. And I appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.